Hello, welcome to Slogan's Rock and Metal Extravaganza without Logan today. So, he unfortunately had to work. He's working late. He's actually still at work now. He's just leaving. Maybe he'll join us and hop on if he can, but he's probably want to get home and do some stuff first, so maybe not, but we'll see. But yeah, he did send us a video, so I will play that. So joining us today, back again, is Webb Vandiver, who we love having on.
Hello.
And for the first time on the channel, Dan from Dan off the charts.
Dan from
off the charts.
He could be off the charts.
Dan's off the charts, yeah. So yeah, we're here today to discuss the Canadian band Teaze from Windsor, Ontario. So they formed in forming years are tough with me, but I know the first album came out in '76.
Yeah.
So it says Windsor, Ontario, 74 is when
74 is when they actually formed, right?
Yeah.
And the first album was originally released independently on like a smaller independent label. And then it was actually released as a demo, like without the band's, the band didn't really want it released. I think they were a little bit pissed off that it got released because they're like, well, this is just a demo. We didn't actually go into the studio and properly mix it or anything. It's just demos. But for this independent label said, we'll just push it out anyways. And I think it still sounds great for something that's just demos.
I did not know that, no.
Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But then they ended up getting re-released on like Aquarius in the States a few years later.
So I've got the Force One.
Yep, Force One is the independent.
Oh, well, there you go.
Cool.
Look at me.
There you go.
So the independent was maybe
the CD's Aquarius. Yeah.
Was it like in '76 and then in '77 probably everywhere else? I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It got re-released and then
this is '76 right here.
Yeah. So you got the original. Nice. But there's also ones with different artwork with like a panther on it.
I didn't see that one.
If you've ever seen
that's
that.
That's the only one I've seen because I've
really
looked at Spotify. And it has
and that's what they use on Spotify too. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
It's really strange. Here it is. I'll show it. Let's see. Save image. I should have done this ahead of time. Oh my god, this is what happens when you're live, folks.
Yeah.
There we go. Image file. I got it.
It's a black. Yeah, there it is.
I've never seen that.
That's actually way more cooler, I think. I don't know. I like the band shot, but that's pretty cool too.
Okay, so I'm serious. I'm a horror buff freak, and those eyes and that snout and the teeth are the werewolf in American Werewolf in London in 1981.
Probably.
I'm telling you. Now, just like after the show, click on a shot.
You think they got it from that mostly? Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, they said, "Hey, I saw a Teaze album. Look, I think it's a panther. Let's make it into a werewolf."
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know. I'm telling you, it looks those eyes. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, so you got let's see, you get the band members here. Yeah, we got Brian Danter on vocals and bass. We got Mike Kozak on drums. And on guitar we got Chuck Price and Mark Braddock. So yeah, 4-piece singing bass player, which seems to be common for a few Canadian bands.
Hey Sid.
Yep.
On Wiki it said Chuck Lambrick.
Yes, so he replaced.
Oh,
they reunited in 2019, and he replaced Chuck Price, which is funny because now you got two Chucks.
Chuck and Chuck.
They found a second Chuck in Windsor to replace him, I guess.
We need a new guitarist. He's got to be named Chuck.
Or he ain't gonna be as good. Yeah. But yeah, there's a video of them like performing like later on, and it's really good stuff. So
cool. I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna have to definitely research.
So yeah, we're gonna start off here with the first album, debut. Is it Rock Candy? No, it's Unidisc. It's it's like a Canadian company, kind of similar to Rock Candy, that reissues Canadian albums. Dan, of course, has the vinyl.
I'm still impressed by I have the original one, independent. Yeah. I did not even know that. So
yeah, that's pretty cool.
Me.
Cool.
So we got the debut from '76 or '77 everywhere else. So we got Rockin' with the Music, Flames Keep Growing, Come On, Hold On, Believe in Rock and Roll, Boys Night Out, Hot to Trot, Dirty Sweet Loving, Open My Eyes, and okay, then Boys Night Out radio edit, but yeah, that's on my CD. Okay, so just Open My Eyes is the last track. So we'll start off with since Dan is new to the channel, we'll start with him. Go off with Dan.
Are you sure?
Yep.
I'm just realizing my.
Well, that's cool
track
too.
listing
Even the
all
back is
over.
different.
Ooh, let me see that. Cool.
Yeah, that's the back, and you'll notice that these
It's a little
songs
bit,
are
yeah, it's a
not
little bit.
in order.
Really?
Well, look at the first.
Oh yeah,
song,
that's
is Boys Night
strange.
Out.
They're just scattered.
Yeah,
That's very
I'm
odd.
not a fan of that, but yeah, that's the back
Yeah.
right there.
Unless mine are wrong. No, I think that's wrong.
Oh, this is not the right order.
No, I think that. Yeah.
But okay, so I'm picking my favorite right now.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, well, talk about the album though. I mean, talk about it.
You could talk about the album. You don't have to just say, "Oh, this is my favorite." So, yeah, get into it.
It's not my favorite. It's probably third favorite, I would say. It's still very good, very raw. And again, now I'm even more proud owning an independent version here. I compare the first two albums, and it'll make sense later on. This would be Kiss, and the second one would be Hotter Than Hell. And I have Kiss Alive 1, if that makes any sense, where I find all the songs that are on I'll show you later on there. They're so much better live than just here. But this one is I just love the rawness of it there, and now it makes sense that I have an independent copy of it there. I'm gonna go with. So I wrote 3 songs.
Yeah, talk about. And
I'm just gonna put it as a honorable mention. I'm gonna put Boys Night Out. More to come on that one. Okay. By the way, I got a little bit of a rant regarding that one, but I'm gonna go with Hot to Trot. Nice. I love that song, and it's also on the live version here. I also put Take It or Leave It as a honorable mention, but yeah, I'm gonna go with Hot to Trot on this. It's just I find it's to be the most original, a little bit more energy than the other ones. Not that this album lacks energy there.
Yeah.
But yeah, Hot to Trot for me.
Yeah, that's a great song. Like you guys could have probably gone to 7 songs for this. Actually, to be honest, it's a great album. And yeah, that live album highlights the energy that these guys had live.
Because they put it as their last song.
Okay.
It's the last song of the concert on this album anyway.
Yeah.
And I'll show you the album later on. There's some pretty cool gatefold in there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sweet. Okay, so we got to vote for Hot to Trot. So songs about Webb.
Well, listen, so I'd never heard, up until a week ago of my 56th year of living, I never heard the Teaze, the first record. So I'm coming in as a Teaze virgin, and except for those few songs that we talked about before, and and then when I read about how it was an EP, and then they decided that they liked it so much that they just pushed it as hey, let's just put it out. I mean, and it's professional enough, and I'm big on production and all that kind of stuff and how something sounds. But I mean, they obviously didn't have a lot of money to spend, but it holds up for a first album. I mean, it holds up with the sound. And when I was going through it, I mean, I got to admit that a lot of them sounded the same. I mean, they have a sound, they have that sound.
They have a sound, right?
And a lot of the same tempos. And, being the drummer, I want to hear some change of tempos sometimes. I know there's maybe, I didn't write it down, but are there any even kind of slower songs on the first album? I don't
Open My Eyes. Yeah. The last one.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. I did write that down. Thank you, Sid. Which actually builds up in the middle. Doesn't it? It starts out slow, but it kind of, it gets heavier. It still stays heavy half time, but it gets heavier. And I wrote that down as one of my favorites. So I had a hard time choosing my favorite. I wrote that the actual first song, rockin' with the music, and you got to do rockin'. Let's drop the G.
Yeah.
No rocking. Rocking is rocking back and forth in a chair. Got to be rocking.
Yeah, we drop the G's down here in Georgia all the time, when we talk like that. But you never heard my southern voice, have you? This voice. You haven't heard when I can start talking like this if you want me to. No.
Oh God.
Okay. Anyway, Rockin' to the Music is a good song. And I bet, I didn't look at the live album. Do they open with that? No, they don't open with that. This sounds like a great opener. That's just why I was asking.
They do.
They do open with that. Yes.
I knew it. I know
it's based on the first 2 albums, by the way.
Okay, cool. And I kind of like Sid knows this. When I hear something, I know. Okay, Alan Jackson. Kiefer, be quiet. You say you're from the South. Kiefer says he's from the South. Yeah, right.
He's from Ohio.
I know. He says, "Oh, yeah, Southern Ohio." Anyway, let's get on tangents yet. I wrote that I kind of had a Deep Purple. I mean, like, I don't know. It kind of felt like Deep Purple Burn. Maybe just the tempo of it.
The riff, yeah.
And I was hearing that, and then there's some fast snare rolls that are they're not Ian Pace snare rolls, but they're there. You know, after the solo, I just thought it was a cool song. And I wrote, "Come On, Hold On." I love that riff. It just sounds like a song you want to cruise around to. Boys Night Out is kind of catchy. I can see why they, I don't know, maybe that was their single because it says radio edit.
They must think it's their most popular song, but more on that.
It was,
because
I was laying in bed listening to this coming through my phone, you know, and my wife's walking around. And when Boys Night Out was on, she was walking in and out of doing stuff, and she started actually singing it.
Really?
So I'm telling you.
Wow.
And she's a very musical ear and musical knowledge, but she's still general public. I mean, so, hey, I don't know. That's who they're trying to please. So, and then, so anyway, Boys Night Out was okay. And then right when I was about to just go to the next album, I gave Open Your Eyes another chance. And I wrote that I liked it. I don't know. So I can't choose a favorite. I mean, I don't know. To me, it's, I'll just say the first song that grabbed me was "Come On, Hold On." Come on, hold on. Is that it? Yeah.
Yep.
And I just wrote that I really like the riff and maybe something about the feel. You know, I always like the feel of songs. That's my thing. You know, and so yeah, mark me down for "Come On, Hold On."
Perfect. All right. So before we get to me, we'll get to Martin right now. So Martin, what do you think?
This is going to be great.
Well, Sydney's given me this challenge of greatest favorite Teaze song or favorite song from every Teaze album. Let's start with the debut, of course. So here we go. There's your Teaze, their fully signed version of it. Got to meet these guys on a reunion show down in Windsor. It was very, very cool. Okay, I'm gonna go with Boys Night Out on here. I mean, my choices aren't gonna be that exciting. I think they're kind of considered the biggest, flashiest Teaze songs in most cases. Boys Night Out has that cool military snare feel to it, and then it kind of explodes into a good hard rock, heavy metal groove. I mean, this album in general is quite heavy, quite uncommonly heavy for the time, and it is really, really professional sounding, which is surprising because the guys say it was recorded somewhat as a demo, but I mean, it sounds absolutely perfect. So I'm going to go with Boys Night Out from the debut.
All right. So yeah, that's.
See,
yeah, I knew Martin.
Well, hey, Martin's a drummer, so he had to mention the drums at the beginning.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
It's a good song.
Oh yeah, it's a fun one.
I'm telling you, my wife was humming it, so it's got something.
So now, Logan, what are your thoughts?
Oh, where's Logan? Come on, Logan.
Well, this is funny. Watch what he says at the beginning.
Hello and welcome to Logan's Sock and Kettle Extravaganza. Yes, me and Sydney have split up due to creative differences, and but don't worry, we might get back together one day, maybe 45 years from now, and we'll do a live reunion show. But seriously, it's just I had to work over this Saturday, so and I want to be a part of this show, so I'm glad Sydney let me do this. I'm sure he would have let me do it either way, so. Thanks, buddy, in advance, and I hope Webb and Dan are going good. So, yeah, I'm ready to talk about this cool band that Sydney introduced me to, and all he had to do was tell me that first album kind of sounds like the heavier songs of like Hotter Than Hell era Kiss, and I was like, well, you got me right there. So, yeah, it was a fun time listening to these 4 albums, and I wanted to mention the band members. I'm sure you guys did during the show. Brian Danter, bass guitar and vocals. Mark Bradak is on guitar, and Mike Kozak's on drums, and the other guitarist is Chuck Price. but they actually got back together, and Chuck Lambrick plays guitar with them now. So it's kind of funny. They had two Chucks in the band, but they're all fantastic
joke
players.
on sale or something.
I really enjoyed going through these
little
albums.
does he
And,
know.
to me, for somebody who hasn't ever heard this band, probably I think the live album would be a good place to start, really, because you kind of get the best of both. Well, not the best of both, because I think they missed some songs from the first two albums. But yeah, Japan loved these guys. I just wish North America loved them as much. But yeah, I'll get into it. So on the first album, which I think there's 7 songs I could have picked, because they're all really solid. Besides the last two, and I'm kind of iffy on that one. But I went with "Dirty Sweet Lovin'" on that one, which I love the drum groove on that song, which kicks off the song before like this southern rock kind of thing starts, which one of the guitarists starts playing it, and then the other guitarist joins them, which I thought that was pretty cool. And I love the swagger and attitude Brian brings to the vocal on this track. Just kind of sets the mood of the entire song, really. I love the lead break, too, about 2.5 minutes in, just soloing over that main riff, playing some great pentatonic blues lines. And Brian really stays busy on the bass, too. He starts going higher up on the neck and stuff. Yeah, I'm a sucker for twin leads in the 1970s, so this band was perfect for doing stuff like that. And I really I found the video. There's a video of them guys playing this song, Dirty Sweet Lovin'. So I guess they tried to push it a little bit out there. Really cool video. I mean, it's just a performance video, but yeah, it's cool seeing the guys play that. So that was my pick from the first album. And the first album probably is my favorite. But it's tough, man. A lot of these albums are kind of neck and neck with each other. At least the first two to me. The first two are really good. And I'm not saying anything against the last two, but with the track or the album On the Loose, all
right. So yeah, that's remove that. Yeah, so we all got different picks so far.
Yeah.
Sign of a great album. Except this is where we break the tie, because I'm going with Come On, Hold On. That's actually, I'd argue, my favorite Teaze song in general.
It caught my ear, I'm telling you.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I love that song. I love that song. Just like everything you said, that riff is great. And then at the end, when it speeds up and just gets really fast and they go nuts at the end with the solos, just such a great high energy song. Yeah, Come On, Hold On is the standout from this one for me, for sure.
Cool.
Yeah, so
it sounded like, I mean, all of us think it's a pretty solid album.
Like for a demo, like that's.
Yeah, I know, huh?
Yeah.
It was a demo and the band didn't like it, but I think it sounds great. Like.
Yeah.
I guess they were worried that the fact that it's a demo and it wasn't like they didn't professionally go in there and remaster it or anything. They were worried. But yeah, I don't know.
I bet they spent $5,000 on it. At the
probably.
Not even at that time.
Yeah, you're probably probably like $2,000 or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Not even. Oh yeah. So then we get on to On the Loose. These album covers are all cool. I love this. Well, maybe not later down the line, but yeah, this one is pretty cool. To generic like live shot, but pretty cool.
Yeah. I thought it was
you
cool.
got them on the back. I don't know if does that match the original vinyl? Nope. Okay.
No, and I've got a wait. Yes.
Or is that the gatefold? Oh, okay. So the inside. Okay. Cool.
So Mr. Sid has a good comment right here.
Who?
George.
Let's see. Okay, so yeah. Met Mark, the guitar player, in early 2000s in Toronto for a show called Pawnathon. It was a show for bringing in weird, valuable items, and they would buy it. It was kind of like Pawn Stars, sort of.
Okay.
Except it wasn't actually scripted. Like it was like a Canadian version of, but like my parents actually went on that, and they actually went there and met him. Oh. Because he was on there.
I like what George says. He's just saying he doesn't know why. He has no idea why.
Yeah. Yeah, no. And Dan, do you ever remember them having airplay?
No. Like I said, I only found out about it in the 90s, if not early 2000s, when I got Martin Popoff's books there.
Okay.
There. That's the only time. And I saw the picture of the tour of Japan. That's in his book. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Never heard of it. Went to a used store one day and I saw that live album, and that was my first one.
Oh, okay.
Like Logan said, it's a great place to start if you're not familiar with this band here.
Oh yeah.
Nothing at all. Like I've never heard of this band at all until I read it up on. And I know one of my buddies. I don't know if you guys know Mitch Lafon.
Who? Sorry.
Mitch Lafon. He's also a rock journalist, like
like Martin.
And Martin.
Okay.
And it's one of his favorite bands too.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well, and coming, being someone, you know, not getting it besides Rush and Triumph and a handful of others, not getting into like late 70s Canadian rock until 10, 15 years ago in my life. I mean, there were just so many bands. There was a lot of quality bands, of course.
Gatto.
I love April Wine, but you know, of course, coming up.
April Wine.
But there's I could see how bands like this would just get kind of like forgotten. I mean, or just not forgotten, just never really discovered.
This was never really known. You can't be forgot if you're not known, right?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, they must have maybe known in Windsor. Maybe local radio stations played them, but other than that,
well, in Martin's book, he writes, since there was no money to be made here in Canada, why not go across the sea to Japan? That's what they did.
Mm-hmm.
Which is too hard because you're far away from home, and it's just
Where is Windsor, by the way? Where
it's borders Michigan.
You know where Detroit is?
Yeah, it's literally right outside of Detroit.
Literally across the river from Detroit.
They're all like Detroit.
I've probably seen it.
The guys are all like Detroit sports fans and everything. So.
Okay.
Well, I went to Detroit for a concert. We stayed in Windsor, and there's literally a bus that goes under the river through a customs to go see concerts or hockey games at Joe Louis Arena there. I went to Cobo Hall. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, cool. Awesome. Nice. Cobo. Man, they're lucky to go there. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a huge Kiss fan, so Cobo.
Oh yeah, that's where I went to see it. They were closing down the Cobo Hall, but now apparently I was told. I saw the filming of the video. Anyway, again a tangent, right? You said
it's okay. It's okay.
The filming of the video for Modern Day Delilah, it was filmed at Cobo Hall, and I was there for that. So when Paul Stanley smacks his mic stand to the floor, it was true because I was there because his mic wasn't working. So so that's in the video, and I was there to see that.
Nice. That's pretty cool.
That's my tangent for.
We'll have other tangents, believe me.
Oh yeah. Yeah, like the guitar player, he still has his pawn shop in Windsor. Like, and it's, I guess, successful. Like, he's still running the business. So, you got to make money, I guess.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's called the Gordie Howe Bridge.
Yeah.
I'm reading. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, well, I went under it, I guess.
I'm learning so much more about Canada every day.
Yeah, like I went to. I was gonna go on when my parents went to go on Pawnathon. They found like some coin. Turned out to be fake, so obviously he wasn't interested. And they said, "Oh, our son is a big Teaze fan. We got a record." And he's like, "Oh, did you bring it?" And they're like, "Well, no, it's still at home." "Oh, you should have brought it. I would have signed it for him, no problem." So I was like, "Oh, well, whatever, missed opportunity."
Yeah.
I have to go to Windsor one day. I want to end up somehow going to Windsor and just be nice to go into his pawn shop. That would be kind of cool.
There you go.
Sid, can I make a request?
Yep.
Which you guys, can I go first on the loose just because
No!
I don't have much written down for it, and I'm figuring that you guys will have more to say about on the loose than I will.
Okay.
So, all right. If you want to.
Yeah. So, you going to name the songs or what do you
Okay, yeah. I'm going to have a good time tonight. Stay Here, Ready to Move.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet Misery, which was like the hit, I guess, but Never Again, On the Loose, the title track, Nobody's Fool, Baby Why Can't You, Tonight It's Me, and Lady Killer.
I think there's more songs on Spotify.
Yeah, the CD's got an alternate version. Yeah, I don't trust Spotify. We're going with the original CD releases.
Oh, no. Okay, no, it just says, gonna have a good time tonight, radio edit, and then
there's like these weird mixes.
It's me. Tonight it's me, alternative mix.
Yeah.
So, okay, so you're right. Okay, so Lady Killer is really the last song. Okay, cool. Well, I don't know. It must have been, people who like this song or something, and it popped up, and landed on Lady Killer, and that was a song. I was instantly hooked to it. Just the driving beat of it, just the riffs, just that really cool kind of. The hook is in the verse, taking what I want. Don't need to sing, but that's a hook, and it's like in the song, verse. Yeah. Yes, it's very Kissish. Yeah, very Paul Stanley. But man, that song hooked me in, and that's when I said, "Oh, I got to check out Teaze." Okay. And so that was the song that pulled me in. So it's got to be my favorite song on the album.
Lady Killer.
I wrote, write down Lady Killer. I put the production's better, obviously, because they probably have a little bit more money and a little bit more time.
Well, yeah, they're on Aquarius at this point, right? So April Wine's label,
right? But but then everybody else kind of said that the first album sounded great anyway. So
yeah,
but it has a little bit more. I don't know, just a little bit bigger,
a little bit more production.
Because they had more money, right? So
yeah, they just put more time into it. I wrote a proper album, and they open up with a cover, "Gonna Have a Good Time Tonight," which is that was written by some pop band. Oh, that's might have been late '60s band.
I think it was written by the Angus Young's brother, George Young. It was originally written by
Wanda and Young as the writer.
Yeah.
But it was originally released, so like I've heard the original version. It's like a pop band, and
isn't it? I think it's the Easy Beats, which is
yes.
which is George Young's band. That's Angus Young's oldest brother.
Well, you just gave me some new knowledge right there.
Teaze covering Angus Young's brother's band.
I knew it was the Easy Beats, but I did not know the AC/DC connection. So that's cool. Yeah. And their version of it is actually pretty good because
pretty fun song. It's always been a fun song.
Well, you remember NXS covered it in the maybe
did they?
NXS and another guy that wails. He's the two voices, so they sing it like a duo.
Okay.
It was on Lost Boys soundtrack.
Okay.
Oh my God, that's
my sister would know that. Yeah, she had that soundtrack.
It is awesome. I used to have to play that in the band too, so I had to learn it and all that stuff. And people liked it. They would be like, "Oh, I didn't realize I liked that song but I do. I like it. That's a cool song." I can't remember who the guy is that sings with him, but anyway, I digress. Lady Killer, I wrote, is my favorite song. I hear almost like Ian Gillan screams going on. Yeah, when he wails.
When he gets high, really. Oh, I love when he goes high pitched.
Yeah, and I just like this. I like this. This was another album that I only wrote down Lady Killer because, again, a lot of the songs it's kind of like not one long song. The album's not one long song, but it does. Teaze has their formula, right? I mean, they've got their formula. And it's pretty much up-tempo driving, kind of chugging, late 70s Canadian hard rock. I mean, that's what it pretty is. Much. Yeah. I mean, it's like that's what it is. And
would you know they're a Canadian band though? Listening to them, like would you just think they're another American band?
Well, I mean, I kind of hear some Moxie a little bit. Moxie had a little more Southern sound, I guess, a little bit. A little bit, but I mean, it's that same the guitar tones,
that bluesy, edgy sound, right?
Yeah, and I totally dig that whole sound. I totally dig it. That's I always go back and listen to and trying to find new Canadian bands and things like that, and just anything from that time period. So anyway, that's what I got. Mark me down for Lady Killer.
Cool, Dan. What would your choice be
for your question there, Webb? I would say that all of the Teaze albums sound more fresh than the first two independent Helix ones, if you know what I mean there. Mm-hmm. This sounds more international than Helix. That really shows independent. That first one, I didn't know it was independent until you mentioned it.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
All right. Now on the loose. So by the way, Webb, your Lady Killer is also on
live
track 2 of the live album.
Okay. I've got to go back, and I think I have listened to it before briefly, but it was back when I first discovered Teaze, and that was a couple years ago. So I need to give it another listen.
Now, say hello to the only album from Teaze that does not feature Boys Night Out. I couldn't believe it yesterday, and I'm not talking just vinyl, and I don't know about Spotify. I didn't even bother checking, but this is I have 5 albums, 1 live, 4 studio. every one of them except this one has Boys Night Out. I couldn't believe it.
Really?
I couldn't believe it.
It's only on 2 on Spotify. It's on Body Shots and then the first.
I have it on Body Shots. I have it on the CD of this.
Really? They included it on the CD of that?
It's on the CD as the
fourth
song. It's not even a bonus track.
That's right, because there was like the original. I have it on the vinyl has the original track listing. It's not on there. The original vinyl didn't include it. I think you might have like I know the original UK vinyl or international vinyl.
Boys Night Out is here.
Yeah. The original UK vinyl, I think it was, had Boys Night Out of One Night Stands. So for whatever reason, they threw that on there too with the CD release. I don't know why.
They love the song.
Doesn't fit in with that album at all, really. Like
no, it's not written on the
especially
vinyl.
on Body Shots. Holy crap!
Yeah,
does not fit in on Body Shots.
Yeah, that one was. I'm like, are you kidding me?
It's like what? That's the most. Yeah, strange.
Anyway.
I think they're trying to push that song as a hit, right?
Oh my God, 4 times.
But it was Martin's favorite song. It was Martin's
and I'm
favorite.
sure it's on the greatest hits that Miles Goodwin
Yes.
made. Yeah, there you go. 5 albums.
It's on there. Nothing but Boys Night Out. No other song. No, can you imagine?
Yeah, a maxi single of Boys Night Out with extended mix.
12-inch dance version.
That I would actually buy that if it was the demo version.
The DJ edit.
Mental.
The DJ. Oh.
But anyway, I would say that this is my second favorite of theirs.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I just found out that Gonna Have a Good Time as a cover, and to me, that's a good sign of a cover.
Yeah.
When you hear a song that's not,
And you don't even know.
Detroit Rock City or We Will Rock You. You know. I was
Born to
like,
Be Wild.
Did not know it was a cover,
Yeah.
and it was great. And when
That's a
Red
fun-
said about a little bit more money, well, it shows with the background vocals of I don't know who they hired for that, and honky tonk piano, which friggin' works. I love that part.
Yeah.
But because it's a cover, I'm going to go with my second pick, which is actually the title track, On the Loose.
Okay.
I really love that song here. There's some really cool. I'm a bass player anyway.
Okay.
There's some really cool bass on that. And of course, it's also on this right here. And I'll actually show you really quick, but I wanted to show you. It's a gatefold,
Nice.
but it's cardboard.
Oh, that's such cool pictures.
Look at that, man. Look at that.
So yeah, there's your guys right there. Not a fan of this guitar, how it looks like.
That's
but-
a weird guitar.
Wow.
I wonder if he still has that. It looks like a weird bass almost, the way he's got it shaped.
Yeah,
It's
his bass look-
strange.
Well, yeah, it's made out of cardboard. I thought that was actually pretty cool. So, anyway.
That's cool.
But yeah, I'm gonna go with On the Loose. It's actually even better on, and is that the one No, it's not it's the last song on side 1.
Yes, I believe. Yep.
Yeah, great live album. But yeah, this song here.
On the Loose.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with
Perfect.
On the Loose for this one here. So there you go.
Nice. All right, so let's see Martin, what are your thoughts?
Pop 'em in.
From the
This is gonna
second
come
album,
right in.
On the Loose. I'm going to go with On the Loose. It was between this one and Ready to Move. I mean, I consider these the two kind of Judas Priesty sort of songs on it, but I think On the Loose just has possibly a better riff. It's got a little more melody in the riff, and then when you get to the chorus, it's got this really heavy halftime chorus with the big sludgy bluesy sort of descending chord sequence in there as well. So I think it's really cool. It's a dramatic track. It's the title track, which makes it very important as well. Just in case
Oh,
you wanted a song from Tour
he's
of
talking about the
Japan,
live album.
I'm going to give some love to Rockin' with the Music, because this was a close choice for me on the debut album. I'm not crazy about the verse structure when Brian is singing, because it's got a little bit of that boogie glam party rock feel, but the parts, the riff between the singing is very, very heavy metal, and I think that's really cool. So yeah, that makes it a favorite here as well. It's just got great drive to it as well, and the groove is really cool what they come up with on that.
All right. So yeah, he went with On the Loose, and then he
All
went
right.
with Rockin' on the Music from the live album. But it wasn't including the live album, but it's cool that you can throw that in there if you really want to. But yeah. So let's see what Logan thinks.
Give it away. I'm
be a
going
long
with
one.
the song On the Loose, which I just love that opening with some big epic drum fills before we go into this mid-tempo groove. And it's got this cool guitar, like kind of like a chugging thing going on to it. Love the big hanging chords during the chorus as well, with the little melody, the guitar melody complementing the vocals when they sing On the Loose. And I love when bands do these duo things with the singers, like the guitar plays the line and the singer says the line. They kind of do that in this song after the chorus line. And yeah, we get a little like bass lick before we get some more gritty leads that come in. And then back to the chorus once more for some more fiery leads and another verse. And I will say on this one, I think the live version of the song on Live Over Japan kind of smokes this one. But really, you can't go wrong with either. I just like how they extend it on the live album because they kind of, the bass part kind of takes over for a little bit longer. And he kind of like does this like distorted Michael Anthony kind of wail thing for a couple of seconds before they go into this like, I think it sounds like One of These Days on the live album by Pink Floyd. It kind of sounds, it has that feel to it. They do that like gallop on the bass. And then they go into some more, twin lead lines, which I love. But yeah, either way, I mean, just a fantastic song. Probably one of the highlights of this band's catalog to me in the little time I've known them, because before Sydney told me to do this, I actually never heard any of these songs or this band. I heard of this band, but I never listened to them. So
Yeah.
So we'll go.
Yeah. So I guess me and Webb lose because you got 3 votes for On the Loose.
I had On the Loose as my second favorite, but I mean, it is a cool song. I mean, I got to go back.
So I went with something completely different that no one's mentioned, and I know it's a really silly title. When I first got into them, I looked at this title. I'm like, is this Sweet Misery Part 2? Just looking at the title, I went with Baby Why Can't You? Because you see that title and you're thinking, oh, that's going to be a really
sappy.
That's going to be Beth.
Yeah, it sounds like a ballad. Yeah, Baby Why Can't You Stay? Or is it
yeah, it's Baby Why Can't You on here, but other copies of this had the stay, and it's a U with just the letter U instead of the actual word.
And they're doing the French writing. They were doing the French writing before.
Just
they were ahead of their time, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's also on the live album.
Yep. I think it's just a good fun riff, like that goes throughout the verse, and then the bridge is really catchy. It's just a very simple chorus, but that song sticks in your head. Very memorable. What's Webb doing?
I'm listening to it. You're right. It is kick-ass.
It's like, I don't remember that song. I got to hear this again.
I don't. I'm telling you. I'm just a little. I knew him a little better.
You're new to it, right? So you can't match the song with the actual. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm changing my vote right now.
Oh my God.
I'm kidding. I'm not changing.
Yeah, I went with Baby Why Can't You? It's just a very simple chorus with just those lines. Baby, why can't you? Baby, why can't you stay? But it's simple, but it's effective. It's very like Hotter Than Hell or even first album Kiss.
Yeah.
And I love that sort of thing. It's just got a really fun solo in there too. I think it's just a fun up-tempo rock song. Okay. I was originally thinking, it has to be Lady Killer, but then for whatever, Baby Why Can't You is probably the song that I've heard the most and played the most for whatever reason. Wow. It's just I love the catchiness of it. Just the verse, the bridge, and the chorus are all like equally catchy. It's just lyrically, yeah, it's really silly, but
well, that's kind of what they were going for. I mean,
it sounds like Gene Simmons kind of wrote the lyrics, but
or Paul, Gene
or Paul at times, yeah, could be.
So 3 for On the Loose.
So 3 for On the Loose.
And whatever the fuck you two chose.
Oh no!
I know.
He's gonna start.
I know. Logan's the newbie, and he's right because he picked On the Loose. So
Sydney told me I could swear here.
Yeah, it's fine.
Dan's just happy because.
How does it feel being wrong like this all the time?
So now we get to the best album cover ever. No, with mannequins in the background. Don't know what that's about.
In New York, though, they're in
One Night Stands. I don't know. I think that might be the Windsor Bridge.
Oh. Windsor looks like a metropolis.
The bridge. I mean, it's a city, so it's a big city, but yeah. But I don't know. It could be Montreal. You know what? Because they relocated to Montreal.
Oh, could be. Yeah.
They did relocate there. I think actually for the second album because they were on Aquarius.
Mm-hmm.
And this was produced by
now that naked guy in the bed with the hairy legs. Did not want to see that.
I didn't realize that was a guy at first.
Neither did I.
And then you look at it and you're like, wait a second, those are some hairy legs. Yep.
Yeah, man, I want to see that. I want to put that up again. Let me see that.
Why do you want to see that hairy legs?
Oh wow! Damn.
Teaze with a mannequin sitting there. It's just very strange. Very one night stand with a mannequin.
Isn't the saying one night stand singular? And like I was like, is this plural?
All four of them had one. So
okay, yeah, I guess with those mannequins in the back.
And the ironic thing is, the singer, who's also the singer bass player, Brian, he left Teaze, which is why they broke up, because they figured, okay, well, we can't replace this guy. I mean, we can, but like, good luck. You're gonna replace your singer and bass player, and with his voice and his talent. And that's another thing. He's a great bass player. Yeah, like his bass is all over these songs, especially on Body Shots. Even though we'll get to that, but like that's very bassy. But I think he's a great bass player and a phenomenal singer. But it's just funny because you have all these songs about like listen to the lyrics and like Boys Night Out. We're smashing windows, we're breaking laws, and all this ridiculous stuff. He left Teaze and became an ordained minister.
Yeah, he's a pastor. Wow. Yeah,
he's a pastor. So he felt like it was conflicting with his religious beliefs being in a band like this, and he's like, I got to get away from this lifestyle because it's.
Yeah, he felt the
when
need
Webb
to,
said he's a pastor, I thought he said oh, bastard. I'm like, what? But then Sydney said he's a pastor. Okay, I misheard.
Anyway. He's a bastard.
He might be a bastard too.
No, I was watching interviews with, but yeah, he did reunite with them in 2019. So I guess, he's like, I had to leave. I wasn't into the whole partying and the whole girls. I had to like stay focused on my faith. And I'm like, okay,
all right.
All right. It's just kind of funny because he's the voice, right? So he probably didn't write those lyrics, maybe.
I don't know what it says. What does it say on the songwriting credits? Does it say the whole band, or does it say?
I think the guitar player actually wrote a lot of the lyrics too. So, I think he just kind of sang them and just kind of went along with it, maybe.
Yeah.
It's like one of those things.
And lyrics, B. Danter.
Okay, so that's him then.
Yeah.
So he did everything.
On which album? On One Night Stands?
This one here, it says
that one specifically.
Music and lyrics, B. Danter.
Okay, so he did the whole entire album on this one.
The sleeve.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's not really any songs on here though that would fall into that whole party lyrics category though. I think this one went a little bit more of a different direction.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you listen to his songwriting. Open My Eyes on the first album starts off with the line of God of this world, right? So that's him. So that's his songwriting. But yeah. So it's just kind of funny that he kind of completely different career direction. That's for sure.
Yeah.
It's way different. But yeah, great singer and phenomenal bass player too. For him, he left and they just said, "Okay, yeah, we're done." There's no point.
Yeah, they weren't really selling any records, so it's probably
no.
Let's do 4 and out, or 5 counting the live album. We're out.
Probably costing more money to make albums than actually getting it back. So.
Yeah.
So yeah, we get to One Night Stands. Oh my God, this is hard to read. The writing on here, it's all fancy. All right, so we got Back in Action, Young and Reckless, not Restless, but Reckless. Young and Reckless, Heartless World, Red Hot and Ready, Through the Years, Reach Out, Loose Change, and Touch the Wind. So Dan, you want to start us off? And
again, if you have the CD.
Yep, you got all these extra. Where's
one? It's Loose Change at the end, but there's also, you guessed it.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, but then there's the other bonus. There's that other bonus track. What was the other one? I forgot to mention that. No, there was another one. Slow Motion.
I have only Loose Change here.
Slow Motion Lover. This was the other.
Yeah, I don't have that. No.
Okay, that's not included on there. I guess some editions.
Candy reissue.
Okay. But yeah, there were some editions that had Slow Motion Lover, which is actually a really good song.
Never heard that one.
Yeah.
But say hello to my favorite Teaze album.
Mm-hmm.
It's my favorite too, actually.
As good as the first two are, like they're all there. But then there's, you hear the first song, you're like, okay, and then the second song, okay, And then you hear Heartless World, and it just, to me, it's like, wow, what is that? That is
Guy could
not
sing.
something that sounds off those first two albums.
No, completely different.
I definitely hear a maturity on this album.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know if they learned something in Japan or whatnot, but this does not. I mean, it sounds like the same band, yes, but more focused, more serious, I guess, to a point.
Well, you had Miles Goodwin from April Wine producing, right?
Yeah, that's why.
That's the one.
That's
And I was reading an interview with Chuck Price the other day to prepare for this and see if he said any important information. And yeah, he mentioned somewhere in the interview that Miles had a huge influence on the writing of this. Like, he didn't actually get any writing credits, but he had like a lot of input. Yeah, I'll let you guys do the writing, but he did give ideas on like, this is what a song should kind of sound like if you want a big album kind of thing. And
yes, I wrote. I'm thinking that Miles Goodwin had a lot to do with arrangements and songwriting input, because I mean, he's
for sure.
He's,
they said they learned a lot from him, and they wanted him back for the next one. But we'll get to that when we get to that. That's the story I'll tell for when we get to that one. Right. So yeah, what do you?
Oh yeah, this starts off with Back in Action, which I find it great.
It's a fun song.
Mm-hmm. Young and Reckless, that little bass.
It's like disco almost, but rock.
Yeah.
Not disco. It's a disco beat, but it's more funk, I would say. Funk rock.
Funky, yes. It's kind of funky.
Yes, but I'm going to go with my favorite one is Heartless World. I got that on CD. I think I have it on digital also. It's so different and good. Again, I'm not saying that the first two albums are bad. It's just they were there. They actually went up. So, for a lack of it, so the first two were like Kiss and Hotter Than Hell. Let's call this Destroyer. Okay?
Yeah.
Just so you know what kind of changes are there. There's not that much changes musically. You don't expect a Death and a God of Thunder there. But there's Matt, you're right. This is so difficult to read. Red Hot and Ready is also a good one.
It's all like in weird, like fancy writing. Like a doctor wrote it.
Yeah,
you can't read a signature.
I have it on CD, digital, and vinyl. I like it that much.
Okay.
So, yeah, but my vote goes for
Heartless World. That's a great song.
Perfect.
Yeah. With a sax solo, no less.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna. No, you know, remind me about sax the next album.
Okay. But I would honestly probably would have preferred a guitar solo on that because it's a really weird.
One sax song is okay.
Yeah, I don't mind it. It's
not 3 or 4.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, that's the next album. So, Webb, what are your thoughts on the best Teaze album?
I wrote. Yes, I agree with what Dan said. I mean, I think this is my favorite. I like the sound.
See, it's my favorite too. Like, it seems very. Yeah.
I think everybody.
I mean, actually, On the Loose sounds good too, and for some reason I like the sound of the next record. But in the songs, I didn't mind them at all. But it was the first time listening, so maybe the third and the fourth and the fifth time, maybe it goes down. But One Night Stands, I think I would definitely say. You know that Miles had we're on a first name basis, so Miles had a lot of input. I feel like he had. I mean, this is kind of. I'm hearing a little April Wine. I mean, or a
little bit, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, just, I don't know. I'm hearing it a little bit. And I wrote 3 or 4 songs. There's 6 or 7 really good songs on here. The first one I wrote down that I like was Touch the Wind, because it has that kind of airy, soft build-up.
Yeah.
And then the big vocals, and then it has that double time jam in the middle, like when it goes up, up tempo, and it just I thought that song was cool, and to me it sounded different than any other song they had written so far. And then Dan talking about Heartless, same thing. I mean, they have different sounding, a little bit more involved in songwriting, a little bit more thought put into it, I guess is what I would say, which is probably because who they were working with. And I like Red Hot and Ready. I think it has kind of that Foghat slide. It kind of reminds me of a really good Foghat song, and I totally dig some Foghat. So that's the first thing I thought of, and that song just was good from start to finish. And then I wrote Through the Years is pretty cool.
That's a good song. I don't think there's a bad song on here.
I know. Well, exactly. There's not really a stinker. There's not a
Even
stinker.
Loose Change as a ballad is okay. It's like Sweet Misery Part 2, but I actually don't hate it. It's fine.
And on Through the Years is when I wrote that he has kind of a young Bruce Dickinson, like how Bruce Dickinson sounded maybe, like what was the band he was in before?
Samson?
Yeah, I mean, like kind of like that. I mean,
a little bit.
Operatic. It's the tones of it and kind of the delivery. And I thought it had a really, Through the Years, as that the chorus is a total hook. I cannot remember what it sounds like. I can't hum it. But I just
come on, Through the Years, on and on. Think of those lyrics.
I can put it in my ear again, and I can remember it. But I just
very catchy. It sticks in your head. Yeah, it's an earworm.
Yeah. And so,
all the songs on here are earworms, actually.
Right, and so I had a hard time. So if you want me to pick one, I saw that Elle said Red Hot and Ready, and Touch the Wind was my initial, but I'm gonna say Red Hot and Ready is my favorite. Just
that's
because
a fun
I don't
one.
know, just that feel of through the whole thing. Again, it feels like you're going down the highway, going 65 miles an hour, not kilometers. I don't know with you guys with the kilometers.
Kilometers all the way.
Kilometers. I think that's a song that's a throwback to the first two albums in a bit, because it has a little bit more of that sound. So this album kind of went like dipped in its toe in different sounds too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's just more time and thought put into this. I mean, because they're like, look who we have working with us, guys. This is serious shit. We got to make we got to make an even better album than what we've already done. So.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I think they succeeded.
Yeah, I think
they succeeded. Yes.
And no one bought it. This should have went like multi-platinum. Like it has a sound. Maybe it's too early. I don't know. Like Touch the Wind is
go gold.
I don't know. Like I don't even think it did anything.
I wrote that in 1979, it probably bled into 80 too, is what I'm thinking. I don't know when in 79 it was released. That's why we need Logan.
Oh my God, where's the? I'm trying to look at this. This
say?
Is very hard to see. Like who? It's very dark. The back is very dark. There's not even a year on here. Like, oh God.
You need progressive lenses, Sydney.
Let's see.
What I meant to say is that there's not a lot of this is as good as any other stuff that's selling at the time.
Yeah.
It holds up, right?
Better in some cases. Like
or better. It's good or better. It's just the absolute mystery. It's just one of those bands that just never broke out. But didn't they have some good opening arena slots?
Yeah.
I mean, they had some good.
Yes, they were never a headliner though. That's the thing. They never.
But it always said on Wiki when I was reading about them, it said that although they were getting good slots, it just never materialized into anything. It just never, So
what happened was Sweet Misery off the second album was a somewhat hit. I don't think it ever really got played much, but apparently that was the one hit song that any radio stations would ever play. Okay. Probably more like on the Windsor border. Windsor and maybe like maybe a little those towns that were in the States, and Detroit radio was maybe playing it. But it was a moderate hit, Sweet Misery, and it's kind of like it's a piano ballad, right? Kind of like the Eagles sort of thing. I actually don't mind Sweet Misery. It's fine for what it is for a ballad.
You told me not to pick it.
I was just kidding. Oh yeah, yeah. They and then they wouldn't play it live because they didn't feel like it fit in with like their live show. And the guitar player said, we'd have all these people in their sick. Here we are. We're like young guys in our 20s. We were having like 60-year-old women show up to our shows, expecting like the Eagles or like some really old kind of like sounding country rock band or something like that, and having their faces blown off.
That's how my dentist explained seeing Extreme live for the first time. Well, I thought it was just going to be more than word stuff. We're a pretty heavy band, eh?
Well, that's what happens when those bands put out those acoustic ballads. I mean,
people were leaving in droves.
Just that one hit, just the one hit.
So and then and it's not like now people would be able to hear the whole album. Back then, unless you saw it in the record store, how else are you going to hear these things? If the radio didn't play it, you're not going to really hear it.
Right.
So the hard rockers would have heard that and just think, oh, Teaze, they're just a soft rock band. And then the people that love that song are going to go to the show and be like, well, what is this? This is like Kiss. I don't want to see this. Yeah. This is Knights in Satan's Service music.
Like Gatto. I don't. We need to do Gatto one day. Can we talk Gatto?
Gatto would be fun.
Because I get in my brain with the Canadian that they kind of are in this same slot. I don't know.
Yeah.
Gatto's a little sillier.
There you go.
I mean,
toured with April Wine, Triumph, Streetheart, and Molly Hatchet. There you go.
She is right on the money.
Teaze is. Well, that's how they got the thing with April Wine. That's how they got hooked up with Miles. So they did tour with them and become good friends. But there's
have you talked about your favorite song yet?
Not yet. We got to get to Martin first.
Oh, that's right. And Logan.
So, Martin, what are your thoughts on One Night?
I wish he would just tune in.
One Night Stands. I'm going to go with Back in Action, which kind of surprised me going through this album again for this exercise. I mean, normally I would have gone with Red Hot Ready, being an angry young metalhead at the time. Yes. But Back in Action has this nice, it's got a great performance from Brian. I just love his power on it. It's got very memorable sort of glam metal chords. At this point, there's no hair metal. At this point, AOR really doesn't particularly exist yet. It's kind of coming into its own. So when I say glam metal, I almost mean from the UK 70s glam sort of feel. So, at this point, they are getting a little lighter, a little more generalist, a little less heavy metal. And I think this is the song that exemplifies the maturity in songwriting pickup at this time. I mean, the band really likes this album, right? They kind of think it's the best one, somewhat. I don't know, to a man, maybe not, but yeah, it was a disappointment to me as a kid because it was lighter. But I think this is really good songwriting. And then
all right, so. The angry young metalhead in me is picking Red Hot and Ready. There you go. Will.
Yeah, it all depends on how old you were when this stuff came out. I mean, he was probably.
I was 0.
He's 60. Yeah, I know you were. He's like 60.
I don't know.
61 or 62. So.
Wow.
So he was probably born in. So he was like 18 or something when that came out.
Okay, so yeah, it would have been.
Who, Martin?
Martin does not look 62. Web froze.
Yeah, we are.
There you go.
We just had a storm here, so I'm hearing the heavy rain outside. But
well, you froze.
Yeah.
Your internet's suffering.
Yeah, Martin heard you say his age, and he froze you.
He did. He zapped me, and then probably when I email him, he'll say, "I'm not going to meet you."
But are you saying that Martin's the one that was born in 61, you think? Or
no, I think they're not born in 61. I think
he is 60.
He's 61 or 62, maybe. I think. Maybe.
I know he wasn't young. He wasn't old enough to go into an Ontario bar when Max Webster released their last album.
Okay.
So that was 1980.
80. Okay.
So if he was 19, it would have been 81, I guess.
Yeah. We're doing math.
Another almost interesting
talking about Martin's age.
He's probably like, I heard that. Web put 1 year on me. I'm not 61. I'm 60.
I was 51, Webb. You added 10 years to me. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
So let's see what Mr. Logan, the 21-year-old, has to say.
Sweet Logan.
One Night Stands, which is the band's third album, which I think, in my opinion, this should have been the album to break them. Plenty of anthemic hard rock to be found on here. But I decided on going with one of the tracks that kind of goes for experimental edge to it. Kind of both sides of the original album kind of ending on tracks like this. I went with the end of side 1, which is Heartless World, which I mainly picked this track due to
Dan and Logan lining up today.
I really think he shows all aspects of his skills as a singer here, and the dynamics of the softer verses and the louder chorus sections that they do. And yeah, there's saxophone. There's plenty of sax in this one, which is kind of different, kind of out of left field for this band, which I think makes the song unique in its own way, Yeah, I love the way it starts with that kind of soft acoustic intro and just Brian and some keyboards. And then it's got some wah kind of to add to the atmosphere for a little bit. And then you get this heavy, you kind of get a fake out because it sounds like it's going to get really heavy, And and then that sax solo comes in, and that's over the main chorus and verse music. So it kind of fakes you out a little bit, which I thought that was kind of cool, because you expect one thing from this band probably based off the first 2 albums. I'm sure the guys were thinking that too when they were writing it. They want to do something different. But basically kind of repeats that, the acoustic part and then the heavier part, but then it kind of goes. Where am I at here? I lost my spot. Brian's vocals towards the end of the track, probably some of his finest in the band's whole discography, I think.
Yeah.
But wait a second, I went too far. So
I've seen
bear
this.
with me here, guys. I've never done this solo stuff before too much.
It's just like
So I was talking about the bridge section. That
He's talking
after
about bridges.
The
Is he
repeat
talking
of
about
the
this
acoustic
bridge?
and the heavier part, they kind of go heavier to the bridge section too, and it kind of complements itself by has like hanging acoustic guitar chords, and then the galloping electric part comes back in, which I thought was cool. But yeah, I said what I said about Brian's vocals already. I think that his vocals towards the end of the track are really cool. Very very high pitched and stuff. And I kind of like how it ends with the fading out of the acoustic guitars. It kind of makes it go full circle. The song almost has a mix of progressive nature to it, which I really think adds to my overall enjoyment of the track. So, I think there's plenty of cool tracks on that album. But yeah, let me move my phone here so I can see my notes. I can't see them all. But we'll get to the last album.
Okay, yeah. So that's American accent on the sax. I was saying I never thought I'd hear about in my life for
What the hell
200.
does that mean?
That old bridge still in use.
It's just like Logan's here. It's
Yeah.
not. It's really like he's here.
Yeah, it does. It makes it seem like it, right? When you click these, it's pretty cool that this gives you the option to just click a video and just lets you play it. So yeah, I guess I gotta pick a song, don't I? Yeah. So I'm going.
You should.
I'm going with, for me, this song almost sounds like it could have been on Heaven and Hell, like the next year.
Okay.
Like this is a year before. It predates it by a year, right? 79.
Yeah.
And that's Touch the Wind.
Yes.
Like it has almost the Sabbath feel to it. I could picture Dio singing this with that "Touch the Wind," yeah. You could do I could totally hear Dio's voice on that. He almost has his voice isn't like Dio, but the way he sings, like the way he expresses the words, just the way he sings, it's a different voice, but the way he sings the lyrics just reminds me so much of like Sabbath era Dio. I love that song, "Touch the Wind." Spoiler alert on our Canada Day Music Hangout that I'm playing that for Teaze. So
Perfect.
it's a great song. It even reminds me of the song "Heaven and Hell" almost a little bit at the end when it picks up.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe that's what I was when I was listening to that song, and that was the first song that brought me in on that album. On this album, sorry.
It's total like
yes.
Heaven and Hell, Sabbath, and it's a year before. Like no one credits these guys for anything. I highly doubt Sabbath listened to that song and was influenced by it.
No way.
It's just a coincidence, right? Like it's.
Yeah.
But,
now that you say that, I totally hear it though.
I just think it's a great song, and like I said, Sabbath could have covered that. I just think that's a great song. But yeah, well, you'll be hearing that next week or a couple weeks from now. Yeah, that's my pick. Was
Montreal.
Touch the Wind.
I've met Dio actually too.
Oh, lucky.
Got a picture with him, and that picture is also on his Evil or Divine DVD, a concert.
Oh,
we
wow.
were able to send. So anyway, another tangent.
Dan's bragging.
Dan, how tall are you?
That's my claim to fame.
Dan, how tall are you? Because Dio's
oh my God, yeah.
If
Dio's 5'3", isn't he?
I'll send the picture to Sydney after the.
Okay.
And then he'll send it to you there.
Okay, I'll show it to you. Oh,
It's I'm not that tall, but he is he's a short man, or he was a short man. Yeah.
Not to call anybody out, but I met this.
Oh no, sorry. Let's see. VIP passes. This is going to be the best thing. I just emailed his fan club. How can I get a VIP pass? Yeah, perfect. There'll be 2 waiting for you at call.
You respond just like that.
Free.
That's how do you do it? Here they
I couldn't
are.
believe it. This was Killing the Dragon era, so free. I couldn't believe it. Now they're charging ridiculous prices for meet and greets. This was free, guys.
Yeah.
Twice I did it.
Dio's class. Yeah, that's Dio for you.
Mm-hmm.
Ask Gene how much he'll
Exactly. That's totally different answer there, but
yeah, that's cool. Yeah, rest in peace, Dio.
mhm.
Of course, Dio had to come up in this. I knew Dio was coming up in this because I knew I was picking this. So yeah, that's awesome that he did that though. That's a really cool story. But yeah, I definitely want to see that picture. I kind of have something similar, sort of. I mean, I met the singer from Killer Dwarfs. I don't want to really call anybody's height on the show, but they obviously were cool because they called themselves the Killer Dwarfs. I met
him too. I think he's about as tall as Dio. Maybe Dio's a bit shorter.
Yeah. Oh, I felt like the Andre the Giant next to him.
What's the 1982 or 83 Killer Dwarfs record, which is so cool?
Just self-titled.
The self-titled one?
That's it. Okay. That's the only one I know. I don't know.
Oh, really? That's weird because that's like their more obscure one.
Yeah, that's one of my least favorites.
I actually have that album, but yeah.
Dirty Weapons, Method to the Madness.
They've got some great stuff.
See, okay, well now I gotta look.
Stand Tall, that's good.
Stand Tall is their big deal.
One of the better videos you'll see.
I didn't mean to get us on another tangent. I know we still have.
We're talking Canadian bands, so
yeah.
We got the only one that I don't own, so I don't have anything to show. But Dan's Got Body Shots. So it's Dan's favorite album of all time.
Hey, Dan's Got Body Shots did not sound very.
The whole magazine. That's kind of funny. That magazine.
And then you threw Boys Night Out on there. It's like, why? Come on. You didn't even advertise all the songs that are on the album, but they put Boys Night Out.
And they spelled it with the N-I-T. They spelled it.
But yeah, I also included Don't Talk, which was supposed to originally be on the album, but they didn't include it.
Dan's got it. Dan's got it. N-I-T-E. So that they were trying to sell it as a different song. This is Boys Night Out. N-I-T-E.
Differently?
I think it was spelled with an. Oh yeah, it was on the original. It's spelled properly. That's true.
Well, Boys Night Out is N-I-G-H-T on this.
Yep, and it's N-I-G-H-T on here. Not that you can read that. Not that you can read that blurry.
Well, see,
couldn't believe it. So
I like the concept of it though, with the whole magazine thing. It's a cool.
The cover, to be honest,
is better than the music.
Yes. Is it my turn now? By the way, I know.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I started talking. I was like, wait a minute. Okay, this is trying too hard. Okay.
Yes. I'm taking it.
I'm listening to Killer Dwarf. Sorry.
Killer Dwarf.
Sorry, Dan.
Oh.
Okay, I'm gonna stop.
I'm gonna go, and I wrote it down. There's one song that I really like. Roses and Chrome. I'm going to put that right now is my favorite song off of this album here. Now, and I wrote again.
It's a good song.
I wrote again, Boys Night Out with three questions marks. But I told you before, there was a sax solo in
Heartless World
for the other album. How many sax solos is there on this album? 3 for sure, maybe 4. I stopped counting because I stopped caring. It's.
I guess you love Bruce Springsteen then.
What's that?
I guess you're a huge Springsteen fan.
I don't own anything by Springsteen. He doesn't bother me. I don't bother him. But it's a good album, but it is my least favorite of the 4. Just for trying too hard, you see an evolution with One Night Stands, while this to me is a devolution, or whatever that.
De-evolution, I guess.
De-evolution. Well, the opposite of an evolution. There you go. But I did love the song Rose and Chrome.
Rose and Chrome's a fun one.
Calling All Nurses, which was fun. Okay.
Those are the 2 I like too. That's great.
Oh, there you go. So. But I'm still going to put Roses and Chrome as my first one, but Calling All Nurses was actually fun.
Yeah.
I don't even remember if there was sax in it. And I know someone wrote in the comments, I hate sax. No.
That was me.
Well, that was you fucker. Okay.
You can say that. It doesn't matter. Say whatever you want to say.
I like sax. Like, I feel like another word's going to pop out. Sax, I like it. Just tone it down. Once per album is good because it's an instrument to me that stands out if not played as much. But this one's just like sax and sax and sax. I was like, yeah, no.
It's like bagpipes, right? Like you like it in You like it in that one AC/DC song, but
or Wild Child by.
Do you want to hear a whole entire album with bagpipe solos? Probably not.
Yeah, no. Bagpipes for even harmonica to a point there.
Yeah.
One of those, but in rock, okay, like in rock.
Yeah.
And this one to me was just trying
too much
or way too commercial, way too bells and whistles. Who is that?
That's actually my mother.
That's his mother.
Yeah. That's my dad, George. Yeah. They're always watching the show, so
they're so supportive.
So
sweet.
Okay. Well, they pretty much had what I was thinking about sax.
That's funny.
Anyway, yeah, it's a good album. I'm not gonna trash it, but it's and it's
sax,
easily my least favorite. They're just
for sure. Yeah.
But in a wimpy way.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go.
Kind of sounds like they were trying to sound like the Cars, because the songs aren't as memorable as the Cars.
We freeze again.
Put me down for Roses and Chrome.
Roses and Chrome. Yeah, I was gonna go with that, but we'll get to that. Yeah. Webb's freezing.
We're freezing. We're having issues.
You're good again. Just go.
Good.
You're good.
Just go with man. Just do it.
We can hear you. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can see myself. Can y'all not see me?
Yeah, I can. No, we can see you.
Okay, cool.
Freezing.
Yeah, I'm not freezing. Okay. Yep. I'm a little delay right there.
You're just lagging a little bit.
I'm slagging. Yes.
We can hear you though, so that's all that matters.
Okay, so never heard Body Shots, and then they bring in when you bring in a producer with a name like Nick Blagona. I mean,
that guy.
Yeah, Nick Blagona.
I don't like any of the albums he's produced. I don't even know who that is.
So I guess they thought that I'm sure they probably wanted Miles back, but Miles had other commitments.
I will share that. Yes.
He was probably recording Nature of the Beast or something, and then.
Oh yeah, 1980. Yeah.
80 going into 81, right? So, anyway, I think they were trying to sound a little more new wave and change their sound a little poppier, a little more accessible, I guess. I'm hearing kind of like a sweet thing going on too. It kind of has like sweet kind of vocals.
A little bit.
The double track, not the huge double track kind of stuff, but just that sound. I don't know. And I wrote that Roses and Chrome was really good. I like the
That's
song.
a fun song.
Sure Thing starts out with a little funky bass.
Yeah.
And has some weird effects on the toms. And there's a cowbell in there. I don't know. I thought I wrote down I like the guitar sound on this whole album. I don't know. I know you guys might not agree. I put I liked it as much as any of their other albums.
Okay.
What Happened is the one that starts out with the acoustic, and it has that kind of Wizard with David Byron kind of vocals. And I'm Not Gonna Cry Anymore was whatever. There wasn't anything.
That's a cover, actually.
I'm going through them all just because it was the first time I ever listened to it. Calling All Nurses, like Dan said, I thought was cool, and I wrote that the guitar is killing it on this song. I mean, both of the guys. Silly lyrics, of course. She's Gone Again, I wrote wasn't bad either. And then I wrote Boys Night Out. Did they redo it or is it remixed?
I don't think so. I think they just threw it on there.
Yeah, I think they just threw it on there. And then I wrote that they spelled night differently. They were trying to trick everybody. They're like,
that's a different song.
Yeah. And then on Spotify, it has Don't Talk.
That's because that was supposed to be originally on the album.
But it's not on the magazine. Look on the magazine on the cover.
No, it was originally going to be on there. They decided, it's not good enough to make the album. Boys Night Out is.
Mm-hmm. So I just went through all the songs. And if I had to, they're all kind of good. They're all not like great, but they're not.
You haven't listened to Don't Talk, did you? I forgot to mention. You might actually go with
Don't Talk. Wasn't good. Yeah, Don't.
You didn't like that?
No, I don't know. I listened to it really quickly. I'm sorry, I'm being honest.
Okay. And I'm Not Gonna Cry Anymore is actually a cover.
By?
It was covered 4 times at that point already.
Well, tell us.
That doesn't answer my question, though.
Exactly. That's what my thought. It's a really generic name. A guy with 2 first names, Bobby David.
Not gonna cry anymore.
I don't know. Yeah,
I thought that was YouTube singing right there.
Bobby David, and then it also was covered by Benny Mardones.
Oh, Benny Mardones. He's the one that wrote that creepy song about liking the underage chick, Into the Night.
That's a lot of people.
If I could fly, I'd
God.
pick you up and take you into the night.
Blackfoot also covered it.
Oh,
Wow.
Blackfoot. Yeah, I love Blackfoot.
Later on, they covered it later. But yeah, I think they did a good job with it. It's like, this is not a song you would think people would cover, but apparently, yeah, the song's only from '78, so I think they were actually one of the first ones to cover it.
Well, their covers are, again, good, because I never heard of that one either.
Yeah.
Well, the songwriters were really pushing. I mean, it must have been whoever wrote the song saying, all right, let's try this with 5 different bands. It's going to hit somewhere.
Yeah, and then you're like, well, you only have 9 songs. Better put Boys.
Apparently, the original was a hit.
Well, yeah. Also, but if we're gonna mark down, I'll put Roses and Chrome is my favorite. But I kind of like this. I would listen. Okay, this is Dan's not gonna like this. I would listen to this album.
Uh-oh.
No, I'm just saying, because when I mentioned it earlier, he kind of was like, oh, I'd listen to Body Shots as much as I'd listen to On the Loose. That's all I'm gonna say. I could. You can. The door's right.
Dan's like, Dan's thinking, what do drummers know?
Come on, man.
I'm just kidding.
It's coming from somebody in the deep South of the United States. I mean, that's just what I'm thinking.
Are Body Shots popular there?
Probably.
Oh God.
Just do some body shots.
Oh boy. So yeah, I'll show Martin's thing in a sec, but yeah, I just want to mention how you were saying the Miles thing. There's an interview here, an internet interview with Chuck Price, which is funny because he didn't take part in the reunion, but there's an interview with him. It's kind of strange, but yeah, he said we were managed by the same company as April Wine. We played with them quite a few times, and we got to know them pretty good. I'm not sure who came up with the initial idea to have Miles produce it, but we all agreed it was a good thing. We had a lot of fun with Miles working on that project and being a guitar player. He had Marco. I'm assuming that's his nickname for Mark Braddock. I guess he called him Marco. So yeah, Mark and myself doing a lot more tracks than we had previously. Everyone agreed that if Miles would have been available to produce the next album, the outcome of Teaze would have been very different. Mm-hmm. Then yeah, they were very happy. Body Shots was a mistake all the way around. We wanted Miles to produce, but he was unavailable. The producer was fighting with Capitol Records in LA, who wanted us to scrub the session and wait for one of their producers. We wanted to continue and did, but we weren't happy at all with the final product, which was way over budget. We thought the demo we did at a little basement studio sounded a lot better than this and had a lot more feeling. Then, because we pissed off Capitol Records, they put us under suspension because we were late delivering the album, which also meant they shelved One Night Stands.
Oh,
which they had been working on for months, basically cutting off our distribution in the US and the rest of the world, since they had the rights to everything except Canada and Japan. So Capitol basically said, screw you guys. And
I've never heard of a penalty like the.
Labels can do what they want. They said, we're not distributing you guys then.
Like, did nobody give this penalty to Axl Rose?
Cut off distribution. Well, because Teaze wasn't making the money anyways. They figured you guys
14 years to make this. Wow, okay, I've never heard of that.
Yeah, that's just, they penalized them just because they wanted to wait, I guess, they wanted Miles, and
yeah,
it's a shame.
Dan just put up there that, I mean, Blagona worked with some, there it is. I mean, he worked with some big bands. I had no clue. This sounds like a guy's going to make spaghetti.
Yeah.
So let's see what Martin thinks. So yeah, we'll see what he picks. Oh, I think I know. I think it's Roses and Chrome. I've seen the video. I think he goes with that.
Yeah. The Curious last album, Body Shots. On this record, there's a lot of weird stuff going on this record. It's a little new wavy. It's a little spare. But I like Living on the Edge because it's a hilarious sort of Van Morrison, Bruce Springsteen, Bob Geldof, Joey's on the Streets Again sort of song, UFO, Phil Mogg. It's got Kenny wants to bust some heads and all that kind of thing. So it's got the sax. So it's a little John Mellencamp. It's a little Sammy Hagar. So of the various directions they went on this album, kind of all ill-advised. Definitely some pop, some mellowness, some kind of weird new waviness. I think this one's amusing and utilitarian. It's useful. It's a good song. So it's kind of AOR, but again, it's really going for that whole Bruce Springsteen, Lou Reed, not going for the Boomtown Rats thing, but it really does sound like Joey's on the streets again, which is quite funny. But yeah, it's the one I kind of that sticks in the brain better on this album out of albums. So there you go, Sydney. Those are Martin Popoff's favorite songs from every Teaze album.
He's like, now I got to go make myself a sandwich.
He's a national treasure. I thought I was living on the edge. I thought he mentioned Rose. No, I was living on the edge. Yeah.
That was cool. That was cool that he did that.
That's a fun song. Yeah. So let's see what Logan says.
Is Body Shots, which I've talked to Sydney about this one. I wasn't too. The first couple times I played this album, it's kind of a grower. You know, they were trying to do something different. Kind of going for more commercial sound of the time. I think they were kind of influenced by the new wave bands and some of the more pop rock kind of the time on this one, which isn't bad, you know, because there's some good gems on this one to be found, I think. But I actually chose the song that actually wasn't on the record. I think it was a bonus track, Sydney. Shake Your Head if I'm wrong here. I could be wrong. I think you told me it was a bonus track.
Yes,
that was Don't Talk, which yeah, if it was from the same sessions as the Body Shots album, it definitely is one of the tracks that harkens back to the first two albums, I'd say. Just a straightforward hard rocker, and I love the little lead fills that come in during the verses. Really adds to the song overall, I think. And also close to the last minute of the track, you kind of get this like Foghat boogie woogie, as Martin would say. It's got some great lead playing, and I love the crash cymbals on every 2 and 4 of each bar. Just kind of gives it like that bar band feel kind of thing. Yeah, but that's what I went with on that one. There's a couple. Living on the Edge I almost went with. Yeah, it's a good album. But yeah, overall, to wrap up, my thoughts about this band. It's kind of a shame after this album the band kind of called it a day, and actually Brian left and became a pastor, I believe. He started studying faith. Yeah, to pursue a religious calling. So that's kind of cool, you know. But sadly, the band and the label couldn't find anybody to match Brian, which me and Cindy talked about this week too. I mean, it's kind of big shoes to fill, a bass player, singer, you know. But yeah, of the 4 albums, you know, they're all just solid, straightforward rock and roll with you know, some hints of like acoustic ballads, which, you know, Sweet Misery I didn't mention, but some people say that was the one that kind of killed them, which the band probably even says that, you know. But I like it, you know, it's a nice country kind of rock ballad, you know. And even they get some progressive tendencies at times, I think, like on One Night Stands, what I was talking about. But yeah, that's basically my thoughts on Teaze, and I hope you guys have a great show, and everybody in the live chat, have a good weekend. And Sydney, I will see you tomorrow for our State to State Obscurities Hangout music show. So have a good one, guys. Take care and keep rocking.
Bye, Logan.
Really, this kind of felt like he was here. Really
yeah, it does. It's weird. It does, because it's just the video. He doesn't really seem like he's not actually, like it's a recording. It's just funny, though, how he said the boogie woogie, as Martin would say, right after we...
Martin, Foghat, yeah.
Oh, it's funny.
I was talking Foghat earlier. I'm telling you, we're all kind of in the same head. We're all in the same head here.
It's funny. Yeah, but it's weird. I don't have it. So when I moved out, my dad gave me all the records. All of his records. So I actually didn't buy any records myself. These were all records that he gave me. But I'm not a big compilation guy, so he took all the compilation stuff. And we have these Q107 homegrown records. I'm not sure if Dan would know about those. No? So Q107 was like a popular radio
station.
Yeah, radio station in Toronto.
That's where Kim Mitchell worked, right?
Yeah, he was a DJ.
He
was a DJ.
Yeah.
Webb's like, oh, I know. I'm basically Canadian.
I went down a Max Webster rabbit hole one day and read way too much.
Oh, okay. There you go. Yeah, he was a DJ on Q107. But anyways, yeah, Q107, they had these homegrown albums on records. It's like from some of them I think go back to like the 70s. But yeah, they have all it was just like upcoming Canadian bands, and they would put them on this Q107, these homegrown, these mixed compilations. I don't have it on me; it would be at my parents', but it's there's one I was looking at them one day. One of them says Teaze, and I'm like, is that a different Teaze? Because the year's 1984. I'm like, well, that's got to be a different. I look at it and it says Mark Braddock, and there was a woman's name there. I can't remember the name. So, and then I actually listened to the record at the time, and there's a woman singing. And I'm like, okay, that's weird. It says Teaze. It says Mark's name is there. I'm like, so it has to be Teaze, but it's 84 and they were broken up. Taste of Teaze.
Oh, Taste of Teaze. That's okay.
Yeah, that's like a best of.
Yeah, okay.
Anyways, the song was called Big Talk. It was really, really poppy. It sounds like leftovers from like the Body Shot sessions. So I actually messaged Mark. I can't remember exactly how the conversation was a long time ago. I messaged him on Facebook asking him about that. And from what I can remember, he basically said that was just a song that him and his wife wrote that they pitched for like the Q107 homegrown thing. So it was his wife singing, who he's still with, but yeah, she was singing on it. So it was basically just him and his wife, and I think the drums might have been programmed, don't quote me, but it was basically just him, so one member of Teaze and his wife, and for whatever reason they made them throw the Teaze name on it.
So it's basically the 7 Star featuring Tony Iommi.
Basically, Teaze featuring Mark Braddock and his wife. Yeah.
And his wife, yeah.
And spouse. She's got a good voice, but it almost sounds like a Pat Benatar song.
Oh.
Okay.
I don't mind Pat Benatar, but it's just like, okay. This is very weird because that's not Teaze. I mean, it's a good song, but like I was like, okay. So that's kind of a weird little thing.
That is.
And also, Honeymoon Suite, New Girl Now, an early version of that is actually got that. I think he ended up getting all the homegrown. I think he's got all of them. But yeah, New Girl Now, an early version without the keyboards.
Wow.
Cool. I'd like to hear that.
Sounds interesting. You can look it up on YouTube, early version of New Girl Now.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know what happened with this band. Like, they should have been... Oh, I guess I got to pick my song, too.
Yeah, take it.
So I went with... I got to find the lyrics for this. Calling All Nurses.
It is a cool song, Dan.
It's a fun song. It's probably it's probably the heaviest one on here. I mean, I was going to go I'm Not Gonna Cry Anymore, but I wanted to avoid covers. But I really love I'm Not Gonna Cry Anymore, but I think I like Calling All Nurses just a bit better.
The lyrics are awful, though.
Those lyrics, wake up. Yeah, the whole song is about wanting to be sick so the hot nurses can come attend to you. It's like, okay.
Ooh.
What was it? Wait, was it something about plasma or pump up the, what was it? Pump up the plasma. Let's all get asthma tonight.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
Give me I want German measles. I want Russian flu.
Oh. So
give me all the diseases if it gets me next to you. Like, what the hell?
That sounds like a ninth grade kid going through puberty, writing that, man.
It's just hilarious. Lyrically, it's hilarious, but it makes me laugh when I hear it. But it's got this driving riff, and it's a heavier. It sounds like it could have been on the first 2 albums.
Yeah, it is. I agree with you. It's the heaviest song.
But you listen to the words, and you're like, plasma, asthma, German measles, Russian flu. What the name of hell?
This makes Kisses Burn Bitch Burn sound like Shakespeare.
Oh, I find it funny though. Like they obviously didn't take them.
Yeah.
Oh, I had the lyrics somewhere. Oh my god, it's just, it's definitely interesting, very interesting.
I wonder if it shows them on
Body Shot's lyrics. It's just totally ridiculous.
Oh, it has the lyrics on Spotify.
There you go. Come on, Lev.
Break out the plasma and let's all get asthma tonight. Let's try for measles and other diseases delights. We want German measles. We want Russian flu. Give us yellow fever.
Yellow fever.
That's next to you.
Yeah. That's poetry, man.
Wow.
Wait, second verse.
Imagine if I stole this to write this in like grade 9. Would I like be able to get away with that? I don't think they'd be able to look it up to know that I plagiarized.
True.
Okay, so can you hear? Did we freeze again?
Yep. No, you're good. I can hear you.
Now you're fine.
You're good.
Nurse, you're so infectious. Won't you let me stay? Put me in a coma if you think I'm cute that way. Okay, wait, there's a third verse.
Oh, yeah.
Big blabbermouth, put me in traction and tell me you won't let me out. I don't even know how he rhymes that. I'm dying for you, baby. And then back to we want German measles, we want Russian flu, give us yellow fever if it keeps us next to you.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Wow. Pull all the plugs out tonight.
Just funny.
God, that is so funny.
Oh, Kiefer's here with the smart comments.
Oh, I know. Just stop with the Dream Theater. It's enough, Kiefer. It's enough. It's enough with the Dream Theater. Move on.
They're the only band that exists.
No, I know. Everybody seems.
Come on, you don't want German measles and Russian flu? I didn't know they had their own versions of that.
Yeah.
I'd rather,
Like, what? What does that even... They just had to use a word that rhymes. They just threw in random countries.
I would rather listen to Calling All Nurses 10 times in a row than listen to Dream Theater.
Ouch. That's shots fired. Calling All Nurses is fun, though. Lyrics aside, I'm not a big lyrics guy in general, but like the lyrics of that almost make the song in a silly way.
Oh, yeah.
It's just so ridiculous. Like it's a great energy. Like if the music wasn't good, I wouldn't care. But like, yeah, it's great, fun, high energy song. Great guitar playing, great energy, and his voice sounds great. And you kind of got those. That's the one that almost has those sweet harmonies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In it, but yeah, it's a great song.
Wow.
Lyrics aside, but yeah, that's after the show. We're all gonna go get the Russian flu.
I mean, just to even have the nerve. I mean, you can't get away with that now. You can't say you want things like that. You can't. That's so inappropriate to say you want something that kills people.
Plasma and asthma does it for me. That was
plasma and asthma. He found a word to rhyme with asthma. Okay.
He's sitting around going, "All right, guys."
It's a good songwriting when you think about it, I guess, to rhyme words like that. But like, just okay. So silly.
The positive take is that was very clever.
Yes.
Songwriting.
Clever songwriting. That's clever ridiculousness, I should say.
Yeah.
Almost clever.
Clever silliness.
Clever silliness. Yeah.
If I ever get him on the show for an interview, I'm still asking him about that song.
It's a silly song for smart people.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm gonna ask them, is this like your biggest like Christian themed song?
Kiefer is taking some body. He's taking some shots at you now, Sid. You got to.
Like every time Sid roasts something, he loses a hair on his head. Oh boy. Oh.
God. Kiefer, just wait till you're like 40, okay? Kiefer, you might be losing.
We'll be dead by then, but yeah.
Yeah, we will, because he's only. I know. Oh man.
So,
my synopsis of this whole exercise is that there was 100 other rock bands that sounded kind of like this, and I guess they were just one that maybe they were a little ahead of their time, like we said, or maybe a little bit, but the timing was off, and they just didn't get recognized, and it's amazing. I mean, sounds like management had them in good places. I don't know, for opening slots, and it just blended in with everybody.
Who knows?
Yeah, you got to wonder if Body Shots would have turned out differently if Miles came back. Right. Would like the music had been more in the style of the Calling All Nurses kind of feel, more of a straightforward rock album instead of this weird kind of new wavy direction that they went in.
Yeah,
and sax.
Too much.
Sax.
Miles probably would have said, "Okay, no sax."
Oh, when I showed you that,
just one.
Yeah.
When I showed you that that best of that has the woman with the popsicle that's very phallic.
And Miles released that.
Well, guess what song is the last song on the album?
Don't His Boys Night Out.
Yes, of course. They always put it at the end.
Oh my God. You go to their concert, they play that, but nothing else.
I can't even take them seriously now for 5 albums. 4 Boys Night Out. That part just blew me away. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" Like I forgot about this. It's like, oh my god,
it's a good song, but like, why do you keep picking this one song and putting it on every album? I mean, they're not on the official vinyl releases, so I guess that's
it's on my vinyl of
really
Body Shots. It's even there.
Yeah, that's the one where they did actually include. But I think the original vinyls of everything else, no. But I don't know what the idea was to include it on Body Shots. Like that's strange. It doesn't even fit with the sound of the album.
No.
It doesn't. Well,
they're probably like, oh, this doesn't really sound like Teaze. Just put a body shot. We've done it before anyway.
Yeah.
What's one more version, right?
And they didn't even re-record it to make it fit the sound. They threw it on there.
Yeah.
Very strange. It'd be like if, I don't know, imagine if Kiss just put, I don't know, put Rock and Roll All Night on every single album after that.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, they kind of did.
That was a hit, though, right? But it was the last song on the album. It was the last song on Dress to Kill. And then they just.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
But like, can you imagine if every subsequent Kiss release had Rock and Roll All Night on it? Like, just put it on every album now. Like, what?
I tried to make a playlist of just good closing songs on an album, like good last songs. I had a better name to it, but it was fun going through and looking through albums and finding how, back in the day, a lot of people like, When the Levee Breaks or something. A lot of people put the best song last. I mean, maybe like first and last. You had the best way to close an album. You could never do that nowadays, or even probably 10 or 15 years ago.
Yeah. I mean, these guys did it. I mean, these guys had a lot of strong closers, actually.
Yeah, I mean, that was the cool thing to do. I mean, Stranglehold's the last song on Ted Nugent's, I think.
Right.
So, yeah, there was always like Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner. See, now I'm going to pull up my playlist and go through them.
I think Rock and Roll All Night's a little bit of I've never been crazy about that song.
Yeah.
Well,
the live
version especially.
That's too.
I don't mind the live.
That's your last song on the album, though. It seems too very generic and basic.
Oh yeah.
I think like She would have been a great closer.
Yes.
Oh, love She.
Like that's the heaviest song on.
That's my favorite Kiss album.
There you go.
You ever hear the Wicked Lester version?
Yes, I have.
I actually like that.
With the flute?
With the flute, yes. Yeah.
I have an unofficial vinyl of that album upstairs, yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
Okay, I know we're done with Teaze. Let me read off some closers. Okay, Working Man.
Oh wow, that's a closer? Okay.
When the Levee Breaks, Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner. No One Came on for Deep Purple is a cool song for the last song.
That's a great song. Yeah, that's a good song.
The Ocean. Natural Science for Rush. I love Def Leppard's first album, the one that's
On Through the Night.
And Overture is the last song, which is
they never done anything like that ever again.
I love that song. I love that song, Overture.
That album is a desert island album for me.
Yeah. Berries Wear Boots is the closer on Paranoid. Freebird is the closer.
Yeah, it's crazy that these are all closers. This is not something I ever really thought about. But,
yeah.
Well, see, I'm very clever with my playlist. Closer to Home, I'm Your Captain. Foreplay Long Time, Boston.
These are all hits too. Like
yeah. A Day in a Life on Sgt. Pepper.
Okay.
Oh, they play that all the time here, yeah.
Sweet Madam Blue.
Nope.
Yeah, there's a closer. Come on, where's the Dream Theater closers?
I'm not going to name it. I'm not going to have that on the list. Perpetual Change on the Yes album, and Heart of the Sunrise on Fragile.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's what? Come on, quick, Webb. What's the closer on Look What the Cat Dragged In?
God. I have it, but
I'll tell you what it is. It's shit, is what it is.
Oh,
That's
come
what
on.
The cat drug in.
I think it's actually
the cat drug in a dead bird.
I think it is actually that song. Yeah.
Look at Kiefer. See, I've got a good tangent going now. Kiefer's naming some good, Siberian Kotru, or however you say it. I've enjoyed this, guys.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, it was a good show. It's too bad Logan couldn't be here, but it's cool he did the video, and nice of Martin to do that. So
man, that was awesome that Martin did that.
That was cool. Yeah, he actually recorded this morning. I messaged him. I didn't want to bug him too much because I still hadn't gotten the video, and I messaged him again this morning. And I said, "Oh, you still want to do that Teaze video?" And he said, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I forgot. Okay, I got to make a note for it." And I told him last night, actually. He said, "I forgot. I got to make a note for it for tomorrow." So I guess he went and did it this morning and emailed it to me. So
nice.
That was
by the way,
very...
go to the show, the last song.
What's that?
Let Me Go to the Show is the last song.
Right, Let Me Go to the Show. That's actually a good song. I think Webb might actually like that. But Webb doesn't do Poison.
I used to have to play Talk Dirty to Me.
It's a fun song. Come on.
Come on, CC, pick up that guitar and talk to me.
You got to change the words.
I remember when I first saw that video. It
doesn't work if your guitar player's name wasn't CC.
Yeah.
Yes.
Come on, Webb, pick up that drumstick and talk to me.
It's got to have an E. He could if
Webby.
Well, he could have said Webby, yeah, like Cretan calls me.
Come on, Webby, pick up that drumstick and talk to me. Then do a drum solo instead.
Don't tempt me. I'll twirl them.
Webb's gonna play the entire Dream Theater album "Astonishing" on drums.
Yeah, I'm gonna play it, and then I'm gonna play the Black Cage right after that. Yeah. Oh, guys. I might need to get out of here.
Yep.
It smells like my wife is cooking some really good dinner.
Okay.
It smells really good. I'm upstairs, and it's
nice.
It's kind of, the smell is. Oh wow, it smells good.
All right, so yeah, I would like to thank Webb for being here again. It's nice for Dan to say yes to this. He's got a much bigger channel than us, so it was nice for him to take his time. We'll see. I got to actually promote it.
Yeah, Dan, I'll have to check out your channel. I didn't, and it was nice to meet you and fun doing the show with you.
You don't take me too seriously. You'll enjoy my channel.
Oh yeah.
No, I don't take anything too seriously. So.
You've been on the Contrarians or just on the Warehouse?
Yeah, I've seen you on there. Yeah, okay, I've seen you on there.
I'm on the Contrarians and myself, and I do a lot of guests like this year.
Yeah.
Right.
For other people there, and I love doing that. So.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Great pastime to do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
Probably good being on someone else's show. You don't have to plan anything yourself, right? You
Exactly.
just go on there and talk. You don't have to do any of the arranging.
I actually did today I'm planning them ahead of time. I did a reactions video for that new Motley Crue.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you heard about
this new song, or is it an album?
It's Home Sweet Home with Dolly Parton.
Oh God.
Yeah,
oh my God.
You have to look at my reaction on Friday. I'm going to save it for...
So she's doing it? She's covering it?
No, it's a... Think of...
Or they're doing it and she's guest vocals on it.
Think of the original recording. The video is like the original Theater of Pain mixed in with the 91 version of Decade of Decadence.
Decade of it, yeah.
And then you have Vince Neil singing. He didn't re-record anything.
Singing.
This is
singing.
Well, back when he was singing back in the Theater of Pain days there. Yeah. And you have her doing like some, I'm on my way. Ooh, like whatever. It's
Hey, Dolly can bring it. Dolly can still bring it. She's
I have no problem with Dolly.
That's weird. Yeah. Dolly Crew.
Dolly Crew. Dolly Crew.
Yeah, it's called Dolly Crew there, this Home Sweet Home there. Anyway, that'll be on Friday. I was like, to me, it's like a meh.
It's weird. Yeah,
it's not bad. It's not great. It's just like, why bother?
Yeah. Couldn't even record like a new song. You're just doing like.
No, she's singing over the original, I think.
That's
and
weird.
Sometimes they just cut vocals off of Vince so she can sing alone there. That's it. But
I probably would rather hear her singing it than him, honestly. At this point.
She does. I think she does a second verse by herself.
Yeah.
But it's weird.
I think Dolly
it's
at her
good. It's weird.
No, but she probably sounds better at her age than Vince sounded in his 20s.
Oh yeah, my God.
He was never a great singer, even live back in the 80s. It was like, what the hell?
Oh, now it's just
now it's just not even.
I saw them last year at the Ottawa Blues Fest here, and it's like when you're filming the little parts for my YouTube channel, like you're hearing it live, it's like no, not too bad. But then your phone
picks it up properly, and you're like, oh my God.
It takes off all the distortion or whatever. It kind of gives you the real sound, and you're like, whoa.
Well, did you even watch like the US Festival? Even that back then when he's doing Live Wire.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God. It's like, okay.
But I'll say it again. It was never Mick Mars the problem in Motley Crue. I don't know why they got rid of him.
He was probably the most talented one in the.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fun show. Thanks for Dan and Webb being here. and Martin for sending in that video, and Logan, dirty sweet Logan.
Good old Logan, young Logan.
So yeah, this was fun. Logan. So Dan, what do you wanna do a shameless plug for what's going on and Off the Charts?
I currently have my current video is, so I take a band and I take what usually the public perceives as the good era versus the bad era. So, but my thumbnail is a little bit clickbaity. It's does this. So today's or yesterday's episode was, does
Razor's Edge?
Does every AC/DC album suck after the Razor's Edge? Which is kind of like the, because I've done one for Rush, same thing with After Signals, Maiden, anything after Seventh Son, the Alice Cooper Band after Muscle of Love. So this time I did the AC/DC. Does every album suck after Razor's Edge?
Dan, I'll answer the question about Rush. Grace Under Pressure is great, but then after that, and Rush is my favorite band. The rest of them do kind of suck.
You want to know what my favorite Rush album is?
Please don't say like Hold Your Fire or Roll the Bones or
no
Feedback.
Power Windows, Counterparts.
Oh my God, they're gonna sit there naming 23.
That's actually a very good one.
Counterparts. No, I like Counterparts. I actually like Counterparts.
I'm gonna go with my favorite song of all time by Rush, and I'm not gonna be ashamed to say it, is Presto. The song is Superconductor. That's my favorite song ever. Everybody's like, really that? But I saw the video and it's so.
You like what you like.
It's a cool song. Presto, Presto's down near the bottom.
I love Presto. I love Presto. So
it's just too crisp and clean and too.
Dan likes cute bunny rabbits.
Yeah. Here's another odd, like Teaze. You guys ever heard of the Canadian band Rabbit with a W?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. No. I got all those too. Yeah.
I have to look that up.
That's the guitarist from Lee Aaron.
Yeah, and do you know Cody Brockway?
Personally, no.
No. He was on. He's been on a lot of the Prog Corner. He actually knows.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. He's a drummer.
His father actually was the drummer in Rabbit, the band you were just talking about.
Oh, nice.
And he also wrote "Blinding Light Show" with Rick Emmett.
Oh, wow, I know that song.
Before he was in Drive, because that's an older song that Rick brought from his previous band, which was written with Cody's father. I was talking to Cody and he mentioned that, and I'm like, wait a second, your father is that Chris Brockway? Okay.
He does drum covers on his.
Interesting.
He's good.
He's good.
Yeah. I would
like to get him on a show for something one time.
Yeah.
He was playing like to Fifth of Firth or something by Genesis. I was like.
Nice.
Shit. He's actually
told him get your dad to come on. We'll do a Rabbit show, but he's like, he won't even come on my shows. He doesn't like doing the whole camera thing, the internet thing. So that's not for everyone, right?
All right, guys. I'm gonna clock out.
All right. So yeah, thanks everybody for watching.
Right. Take care.
Take care.
Dan, nice to had a great time.
You there, Mr. Webb.
Yeah, had a great time.
All right.
Great time.
Have a good one.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me.
Gonna have a good time tonight.
Yes.
Gonna have a good time. All right, guys. Out.
All right. So yeah, thanks everybody for watching. Steve. Yeah, no problem. So yeah, thanks everybody for watching. Tomorrow we'll be back with our music hangout. We'll be playing 2 bands for our State to State Obscurity show. So looking forward to that. And yeah, thanks for watching this one. Go check out Off the Charts. Search for that. There's 2 Off the Charts channels. There's one that like comes up with like a bunch of like rap stuff, and I'm like, okay, wrong one.
No.
No, that's not Dan.
Yeah, that's the one I saw when I searched.
Pictures,
yeah, see,
like me, like this.
Yeah, he's like this. Yeah.
Black lace. That's, by the way, on one of my gigs.
And there's like a little description where it says discussing music. The other one I don't think really says anything in the description. But yeah, make sure you subscribe to the right one.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, this doesn't look like Dan. All right. So yeah, go check out Off the Charts. Got some good content there. And yeah, thanks Dan for being here. Yeah.
Thanks for having me. Very fun.
Of
This
course.
is the longest episode I've ever done ever.
Every single one of our guests says that. We go on. Oh my God, this was 4 albums.
We only talked about 4 albums.
4 songs each.
4 album, a little bit of a fifth. There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Went on tangents, but yeah. Anyways, yeah. Have a good day, everybody, and yeah, we'll see you tomorrow.
All right. Take care.
Bye,
Take
guys.
care.
Take care.